Hello and welcome to a new tutorial that we're doing in my Project Zomboid series. After getting feedback from people regarding the type of video they like best, definitely the tutorial's been the most popular one. And today we're going to revisit mining. I wasn't really happy with the explanation that I gave to mining, and I think that I'd like to give it another go to make it a little bit easier for you to understand. The reason why is I'd actually already created the mine. So I've got all of the materials with me today, and we're going to have a quick look at the mine, and I'm going to go over it a bit better. So some of the things I've already made, but I've got all the materials that we need here. So to make a mine, the first thing that you need is to have read the Pottery Book and the Masonry Book. Now, pottery and masonry books, you'll know that over in my little library here, I have the Pottery Book here. And the Pottery Book allows you to make the kiln. Now, we've already gone over the kiln, and the reason why you need the Pottery Book is so that you can make a mold for ingots. To make the mine itself, you really only need the Masonry book. The Masonry textbook will allow you to make a mine, a smelter, a blast furnace, and also teach you how to shift dirt. So if you don't have the required skill for a mine, you can shift dirt. Now, to shift dirt, you need a colander, which is commonly found in kitchens, and you need a empty bag and a spade. So we have a spade here. I don't have a colander, unfortunately. That was the only thing I wasn't able to find in my playthrough. And I'll get an empty bag. So, with an empty bag in your inventory, you go to an area where there is dirt, you right click on the ground and you'll have the option to take some dirt. You'll be able to put it into your empty sandbag. When you have a full sandbag, if you have the sandbag in your inventory as well as the colander, right click on either the sandbag or the colander and you will have the option to shift dirt. Now when you shift dirt, you will be able to get all of the potential things that you get with mining, except the chance to get those things is a lot lower. So you really only want to be shifting dirt on if you're really desperate. I tend to forgo it and wait until I have a mine. So the things that you can find when you're mining, before we go to a mine, are ores. So ores include things such as iron ore, copper ore, titanium ore, and uranium ore. Now the two most common ores that you will be using, as well as silver and gold ore. The most common ores that you will be looking for is iron ore. And the reason why you need iron ore is because most of the items in the game are made using iron. Steel is a lot easier to melt down using a blast furnace, and most steel items can be easily made by picking up household items such as these butter knives or some earrings or just different tools like melting down hammers and so forth. You can get steel from those. Steel can also be made by combining iron or an iron ingot with charcoal. So we'll go into using the ores later. The purpose of this tutorial is just to show you how to shift dirt and how to build a mine. So now that I've gone over shifting dirt, we're going to go over how to make a mine. To make a mine, you'll need an auger, such as the one that's at my feet. You will need 3 tent pegs, which are found commonly inside warehouses and in storage areas, the same places you find other tools. I have 3 in my inventory here already. And the last thing that you will need is to make a ladder. So to make the ladder you need a carpentry level of 6. I have a carpentry level of 6, as you can see. I'm going to pick up my thick rope and I'm going to make my ladder. The last thing you need to make the ladder, as well as the thick rope, is wooden beams. So to make wooden beams, you pick up some logs and you use a sawbuck to turn logs into wooden beams. We have 2 here. The recipe for a sawbuck is 6 logs, 10 planks and 10 nails. You'll keep your hammer and your saw. I've made one here already, unfortunately, but you can see we've got here our 6 logs, and what you can do is place 6 logs on the ground, and with 10 planks in your inventory, right click on any of those, and as you can see here, you'll right click and you'll have the option to make sawbuck. So again, the recipe for the sawbuck is 6 logs, 10 planks and 10 nails, a saw and a hammer, both of which you will keep. You also, to make the sawbuck, need to make a carpenter bench. So the carpenter bench will let you make the sawbuck. Sorry, so that's the actual other thing you need. You need to have a carpenter bench. Now, carpenter bench is just an item. We've got one here that I put on the ground. To make a carpenter bench, you need 10 planks, 2 sturdy sticks, and 10 nails. I apologise, I have actually already made the carpenter bench, but what I would normally do is, we see the logs here at my feet. With a saw in my inventory, I'd right click on the logs and saw to make our 10 planks, and then as long as I've got the sturdy sticks, you would saw down these 4 logs and get 12 planks, and saw a couple of those planks again into sturdy sticks. You can right click on a plank. I'll do that now, and you'll have the option to make a sturdy stick. You can make 2. So once you've got all those ingredients, the last thing to do is to assemble your ladder and then to assemble your mine. So we'll take the wooden beams, and I'm going to check what we need. So to make our wooden ladder, you need your 2 wooden beams, and you need 6 planks, 6 nails, a hammer and a saw. You also need the carpenter bench, which I mentioned already. So let's check the ground. I only have 2 planks. I'm going to saw these logs. There we go. Right click, and we will have the option to make a wooden ladder. There it is. So again, the recipe for the wooden ladder: 2 wooden beams, 6 planks, 6 nails, hammer and a saw, and you also need your carpenter bench, which we've got. Bang, we've made a ladder. The ladder is 20 units, so it's heavy. So leave the ladder on the ground. You can go pick up your auger, which is 25 units, which is also quite heavy. And then you can craft this with any of the items as long as they're on the ground and you can actually see them. Right click on any of the 3 items and you'll have the option to dig a mine. So again, I stress the recipe for the mine. Once you've got everything else built, once you've got your wooden ladder built, is 1 wooden ladder, 1 auger. Now the auger's found in any warehouse or storage area. And finally 3 tent pegs. We dig the mine. And this will take about a minute. I'll speed up time. There we go. And in your inventory you will have a mine hole. Going to place the mine hole outside. Here we go. For simplicity's sake, I will put the mine here. Now, to use the mine, you need a tool. The tool can be either a spade, a trowel, or a pickaxe. I have a spade, so we're going to use that. We right click on the mine, whether it's in your inventory or on the ground, and you'll have the option to mine. Select all and you will mine continuously. So we're going to mine a bit now and I'll show you what you get. Each time you mine you get 1 stone. Now stones are important because they're used in many crafting recipes, mainly around weapons. I tend to use the stones to make ammunition for my sling. Now, some of the other things you can get, as I mentioned before, we'll have a look at our main inventory. You can see I got not much at all. Let's just continue and see if we can find some more stuff. There we go, there's some uranium ore, there's some trona, and there's a bag of trash. Let me just quickly eat something so that I don't die. Okay. I don't have any food in my inventory. So, moving onwards, when you mine, these are the most common things that you get. You get ores, that's marble ore. You can get trash, that is a small bag of trash. You can also get a medium bag of trash and a large bag of trash. We'll go over the uses for trash in the next episode. You get stones. You get 1 stone each time you mine. Again, stones can be used to create weapons such as stone hammers and stone axes, but I commonly use them in my slingshot. This is more ore, uranium ore. Uranium ore currently doesn't have a use to my knowledge. You can get worms, as you can see here. And finally, you also have the chance of getting chipped stones. So sorry, these are what you use to make stone axes. These are all the things that you can mine. Now obviously there's more than this, but obviously because my foraging skill is only at level 5, these are the chances of getting the better items are far lower. But most commonly when you're mining, if you're me, I usually use the mine as a means of getting plenty of stone so I can make a sling and I can use it to upgrade my aiming skill. More importantly, when you mine, you'll get iron ore, and then you can melt down that iron ore using a smelter. We're going to go over smelting in a further episode, but I wanted to go over mining again because I wasn't happy with the way that I explained mining last time. Granted, I could have explained mining better this time and done some more mining and shown you some of them, more of the ores that you can get. But I hope this is just a basic overview of how to make a mine and what items you commonly get when you do mine. This is not an exhaustive list of all the items you get when you mine, but these are the most common things that I have found at my current level of foraging. If you want an exhaustive tutorial into how mines work, I suggest looking at the YouTube and No Misses tutorial on mining. I only wanted to touch on it. He did a far better job of doing a tutorial around mining. So if you want more detail, please look at his videos. But for the moment, this is how to build a mine. This is the basic stuff that you'll get. I've also gone over shifting dirt. I don't have a colander, but you should get the idea. You just need to have the colander in your inventory, and some dirt in a bag, and you can shift the dirt using the colander to get these items here in front of you as well, if you don't have a mine. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you found it a little bit easier to follow than the last attempt I made at mining. I shouldn't have built those structures already, and it took me a while to find a second second auger, so I could rebuild another mine and show you in a bit more detail. In our next episode, I'm going to probably go into smelting and into blast furnaces and show you how to process ores into metal. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please let me know and leave a comment letting me know if this was a bit better than my first attempt at a mining tutorial. Thank you.